Robert, I want to now just finish our conversation here on the national security threats. And you touched on it beautifully, what domestic national security threats are there that the FBI hasn't been focusing on? You mentioned one, Chinese spies. When the FBI is worried about stupid stuff, not national security, list off what some of the priorities should be as you were the national security advisor.
Well, look, the number one challenge we have, Charlie, and you know this and I've talked about it in your show a lot, is the People's Republic of China, the Communist Party. And they've got massive numbers of espionage agents here. And they're not just, spies in the traditional sense. Some of them are propagandists, and they're people that are trying to influence our politics. Definitely anti-Trump for sure. They've got people who are, agents who are sleeping with the city council people around the country. I mean, it's a bad situation. So that's number one. Number two, we've got a lot of Russians here, and we've got to be on top of the Russians and make sure they don't get the upper hand. But what really worries me are all the jihadis, all the terrorists that have come over. We know we've got people on the terror watch list that have come over our open southern border. I mean, that's been a huge domestic national security threat. And when you include the gotaways, we don't even know who's here. I'm terrified of an attack like October 7th that took place in Israel taking place here. Can you imagine, even if you get 10 jihadis who stole deer rifles, and handguns out of homes, and then descended on a small Midwestern town, the damage that they could do to a town that maybe has one or two sheriffs total population? And so the FBI's got to get out there, and they've got to round these people up, and that's what the FBI should be doing. And leave the PTAs alone, leave Catholic Mass alone, and go get the Chinese spies, the Russian spies, and the terrorists who are here. We've got known Hezbollah cells in America. We've got Iranian agents all over the place. There's plenty for the FBI to do that's productive and helps all Americans. They don't need to be a branch of the Democrat National Committee.
I totally agree. And I just want to kind of get a final thought here. The world has kind of been melting prior to President Trump's triumphant election. The rise of China, the ongoing war between Russia, Ukraine, what's happening in the Middle East. Are you confident that President Trump is going to be able to restore deterrence and tranquility to the free world?
100%, Charlie. And, one of the things President Trump just said, and I've been talking about this since the hostages were taken in Israel, American hostages and Americans killed in the October 7th attack. President Trump came out with a very strong Truth Social post yesterday saying if the hostages aren't released, you're going to have hell to pay. And the American people aren't going to put up with it. I'm not going to put up with it. Peace through strength works. I mean, this is what people don't understand. Peace through strength isn't about building the most aircraft carriers and having the most number of fighter jets. It's about what American strength, economic strength, military strength, diplomatic strength, cultural strength. It's what that shows to the rest of the world. And when America is strong, the world's safe. When America's weak, that's very provocative. And you have events like the Ukraine war, you have the attacks on Israel, you have the attacks on Taiwan and the South China Sea by China. But when President Trump was in office, we didn't have these things. We were ending forever wars. We beat ISIS. We had a victory, which was very rare in the Middle East. And we didn't get any new wars because our adversaries knew not to cross the red line for President Trump. And that's coming back. And I'm telling you, the world is pretty excited about what's going to happen on January 20th.
I think our enemies are going to fear us once again, and our allies will respect us. Thank you so much, Robert O'Brien. Really appreciate it. Thank you.